Hello everyone. Today I'll be doing a live demo portion of our Wi-Fi cameras, showing how to add them into the NVR while using the VMS, the AI-based Cloud Pro VMS. And then I'll also cover a few topics such as common problems that people have trying to get the cameras connected or just other issues in general. And I'll also explain a little bit more details about the cameras themselves. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go into our NVR here. And so at this point in the demo, we'll already assume that the cameras have been set up and initialized on the mobile app. So they already have the Wi-Fi configured on them. It already has an IP address assigned, and everything is good to go. So what we can do is, if we go into our NVR settings, we can scroll down to the option here, which is Quick Add. And the two cameras that I'm using today are the 5 megapixel doorbell and the 4 megapixel indoor camera. So if we look for the IP addresses here, so the first one would be our doorbell, our 5 megapixel doorbell here. And then if we look for the other one, this is our 4 megapixel indoor Wi-Fi camera. So what we can do is, again, like I mentioned, they're already configured with Wi-Fi and have an IP address assigned. So we can go ahead and type in the username and the password for both of these cameras. All right, and so it was successful. So you can see here, channel 10 is the doorbell, and then if we scroll down, channel number 22 is the indoor camera. And this process would be the same for all of our Wi-Fi cameras, our 4 different models. So you would first have to set them up on the mobile app on AI Color Pro, configure the Wi-Fi, set up a camera password. Once all of that is done, it's very simple. It takes around 1 to 2 minutes to configure, but you can go ahead and do that and then add it into your NVR. And then if we quickly take a look here, I won't go into too much detail about the AI, but you can see that our doorbell as well as our other indoor Wi-Fi camera do have a few different options for built-in AI. So you have your human in vehicle, loitering, enter and exit region, as well as line crossing, and also your smart motion detection as well. And again, since all of these are within the AI-based ecosystem, you can use more advanced features like our voice prompts, our sirens, PTZ linkage, all as long as you have the AI-based NVR as well. And so another question some may have is what we see commonly is a lot of installers do project takeovers, or their customers already have existing systems which they did an install with them previously, and then later down the line they get a call back saying they want to add more cameras. So if let's say the scenario where a customer calls their installer back, they want to add more cameras, but either they have a different brand NVR or they just don't want to run wires at all. So here's an example that I can show you directly from one of our UniView NVRs that we have in our demo. So just to show, I do have our indoor 4 megapixel Wi-Fi camera here. So that is just showing you that it is compatible if you do any project takeovers, or if your customers have different brand NVRs, you can add them into the system without any issues. So they do support OnVIF. And then you just need to add in the IP address, username, password, and it'll connect. The one thing I will mention is the AI you cannot configure on a third-party NVR, but you can still do it through the mobile app for the AI-based cameras. And so now that we have that added in to both NVRs, we have everything configured. I'll talk a little bit more about some common issues. So for some of our models, such as the 4 megapixel bullet camera, as well as our AI-based 5 megapixel doorbell, they only support 2.4 band on the Wi-Fi. So the common issue, like I mentioned, is sometimes during setup, some end users or some residential routers or Wi-Fi, they only have it's a combined like hybrid 5G and 2.4. So what you need to do is you need to separate the two bands in order for the cameras to connect. This way you can use the 2.4 for those two specific models. For our other two models, they do support dual band, and also our pan and tilt model supports up to Wi-Fi 6. So that is one issue. Another thing would be the setup. So the setup does require our new AI-based Color Pro app. It's our new version with our new system or firmware that we released recently. And you do need that in order to set up an account. So you need to register your email address, create an account. It's very simple, and then you can start adding in your devices and configuring your Wi-Fi cameras directly through the app. Other issues may be placement. So for those cameras that support either 5G or 2.4G, it doesn't really matter. It would be the location. So the distance from the router. So if it's too far away from the router, if there's many walls or many obstructions between that communication between the router and the camera with the Wi-Fi signal, you may notice that it might either be too slow or it might take a long time to load. So it's always finding the right placement for it. You can always use Wi-Fi extenders, access points, or other methods to connect it, just so you make sure you have a strong enough connection to keep the video stable, and also having a SD card as a backup. So as long as your camera's powered on, it will still be recording, but I would always recommend to have an SD card in there. This way you have that video backup in the case that it does lose its Wi-Fi and it may disconnect from the NVR. You can always review that footage later on from the local storage on the SD card. And so that would be the most common problems that we covered today. And then we also did the live portion demo as well. And so that would conclude today's tech demo.